G'day, it's Jono Brake here with Monday Myth Check again. And today we're going to look at this idea that technology always makes work easier. Now, we don't have to stop and look through history and say, look at the complexity of technology, look at the challenges that we've had over time to say that there might be some untruth to this, okay? Now, has technology helped? Has technology saved lives? Has technology made things more effective, efficient? Of course it has. Okay, so we're not saying that technology is bad. What we're saying here is that just because we develop some technologies doesn't mean it's just going to work out. Okay, so let's have a think about this for a minute and look at 3 areas where technology may not make work easier. Okay, because the reality is we're working harder than ever and we've got more technology than we've ever had. You know, I worked for Xerox back in the day and they were saying we're going to work towards the paperless office. And today, you know, that was sort of almost 30 years ago. And today we're printing more paper than I think we've ever printed. Okay, so let's just think about this for a second. Let's look at 3 things. Technology can create new complexities. You know, I've seen people implement technology, maybe a way of chatting, maybe some solutions to improve workflows, maybe some accounting software, whatever it might be. So there's all sorts of different things. There's a lot now in the AI space that are putting it out to make it easier, but they're also meaning you've got to buy more products. You've got to buy this product to do this, and this to manage your CRM, and this to do your workflows. And oh, that doesn't quite do all the workflows. We've got to pull this one in as well. And so we end up with these really complex systems that only a few people really understand, okay? Or if you've got a systems mindset, a frameworks mindset, then, you know, maybe that helps you a bit and you can learn some of these things. I watched an entrepreneur really double down on the AI space and do some great things in terms of making his business more effective. But even in that smaller business, there was still a ton of different platforms and things that he had to use. So technology can make things more complex. And there's some resistance to that. More tech doesn't just equal more productivity. There might be, just look at email. Just look at text messages. Look at what that's done in terms of, you know, I just had a meeting this morning with a client and he said, well, I've got to get back to the office. I'll probably have 60 or 70 emails waiting for me in 1 hour. And so technology hasn't made it easier. Okay. And in fact, it's made it, you know, there's a lot more and there's a lot that's slowing us down as well. And sometimes it's because we have these different technologies that don't speak to each other. Just go and look at the average government department or process and like, why doesn't that talk to that? Well, because they're using different platforms, they're using different technologies and they don't have a way of talking to each other. And so technology isn't always the panacea to be more effective. Now, we should think about it like that, but it's not always the case. The third one is that human systems still matter. Okay. And I've heard this conversation, particularly with the rise of AI and what AI can do and how amazing it is. And I love it myself. But at the end of the day, humans will always matter. I remember walking through a car plant, and talking to the manager of that plant. I was working with a client there who was a staffing client and asking him, I said, well, at what point do you have nobody in here, just some people making sure machines keep working and the robots do all the work? And he said, that'll never happen. There are things that humans can do. There are ways humans think that robots, AI will never do. And you can push back on that one, but I'm a big fan of that one. Not because I don't want robots to take over the world. It's just true. Humans just have a different way. We have this whole prefrontal cortex. We have this way we can think about thinking. And at the end of the day, anything else is really designed by that think about thinking in the first place. So yes, there may be robots that can respond emotionally to something or in the future, but at the end of the day, there is stuff that humans will only ever be able to do, and to see the quality and to really understand that and to know that's what's going on. Okay. So what's an action you can take then if we think about this in terms of technology not necessarily making work easier? So let's have a think about this. I'd like you to go through your business, doesn't matter how small it is, and do a bit of a tech audit. What are the different systems you're running? For example, I'm running 3 different email systems: Google, Outlook, Mac. Apple email. So what are some of the systems that you could audit? What are the things that you could unify? I love in the 5 Choices of Extraordinary Productivity by Stephen Covey, the fourth choice is rule your technology, don't let it rule you. There's a lot we can do with our technology so that it works for us, not us feeling like we have to work for it. Don't be a slave to your technology. Don't get caught up in the things, and figure out, how can you make technology work for you? How can you make your calendars work more effectively? Go through, do an audit. Which ones of those technologies are actually slowing you down? You might like them, you might think it's a cool idea, but it's slowing you down. It's not actually helping you get your job done faster. And then start to audit those. What do you need to do with those? Do you need to hand it to somebody else? Do you need to eliminate it? Do you need to bring in maybe some more automation to make that work effectively? Have a think about that today in terms of doing your technology audit. Doesn't matter how small you are, technology audit's impossible. All right, this has been Monday Myth Check. Technology always makes work easier. I'm Jono Brake. As always, enjoy the journey.